They wrote, "Okay." 2 letters, a period at the end. No exclamation mark, no smiley, none of the usual warmth in it. Just, okay. And you felt it, a small, cold drop somewhere in your chest. Because you know how this person texts. You know their rhythm, their punctuation, their usual 3 emojis. And this, 2 dry letters and a dot, was not that. Or it's the greeting that lands half a degree cooler than yesterday. The friend who laughs at your joke a beat too late. The coworker who says good morning to everyone and then differently to you. Or the group chat. You send a message, a perfectly normal message, and the chat goes quiet. Everyone read it. Nobody answered. 2 minutes of silence and you're already scrolling up, rereading your own words like a detective at a crime scene. Was it too much? Was it weird? It was weird, wasn't it? Nobody else in the room noticed anything. There was nothing to notice. Nothing was said. If you tried to explain it out loud, it would sound insane. He used a period. She laughed a beat late. But you know. You knew before they finished the sentence. Something shifted. And now the other machine starts. The one that will run for the rest of the day, quietly, underneath everything. What did I do? Was it the message? Was it that joke? What did I do? If that's you, the person who reads the temperature of every room, every text, every pause, this video is for you. Because what you have has a name, and it is not the name people have been calling it. People have words for someone like you. You're overthinking it. You're being paranoid. You're making things up. Even you say it to yourself. Stop imagining things. But here's the uncomfortable truth those words ignore. You're not imagining it. Half the time, more than half, you turn out to be right. Something was off. You saw a real signal. You just saw it before anyone else did, including the person sending it. So let's call this what it actually is. You have a rejection radar, a hyper-tuned instrument for detecting the smallest shifts in how people feel about you. Psychologists study something very close to it under a real name: rejection sensitivity, the tendency to detect possible rejection early and to feel it deeply. The radar itself is not your problem. The radar is, honestly, a piece of precision equipment most people will never own. Your problem is one specific glitch in how it reports what it finds. And to see the glitch, you need to see the 3 parts of the machine. The first part is the instrument itself. When a person's mood changes, their body leaks it, in fractions of a second. A micro-tightening around the eyes, a shoulder that turns 2 degrees away, a reply that takes an hour instead of a minute, a sentence that ends in a period instead of an exclamation mark. Most people's brains discard this data as noise. Yours doesn't. Researchers have shown that people can read remarkably accurate information from just seconds of behavior. They call it thin slicing. Your slices are thinner than most. You process tone, timing, and tension below the level of conscious thought, which is exactly why it feels like intuition. You can't point to the evidence. You just know. Because the analysis happened somewhere you can't see. The second part is the calibration. And this is where your story lives. An instrument this sensitive doesn't come from the factory this way. It gets calibrated, usually early, usually somewhere that taught you that other people's moods were weather, real weather, the kind you had to forecast to stay safe or stay loved. Maybe a parent whose footsteps on the stairs told you what kind of evening it would be. Maybe a home where affection could switch off without warning, and your job was to notice the switch before it happened. A child in that world learns one skill above all others: read the shift early. Early enough to adjust, to soften, to disappear if needed. You didn't choose to become a radar. You were trained. And the training worked so well that the instrument never shut down. It just changed targets. Now it scans friends, coworkers, group chats. The third part is the interpreter. And here, right here, is the glitch. Detecting a shift is only half the job. Someone has to explain it. And your interpreter has exactly one theory it offers every single time. This is about you. You caused it. You broke something. Think about how strange that is. The coworker's short answer could mean a bad night's sleep, a sick kid, a deadline, 100 things that have nothing to do with you. The signal is ambiguous. But your brain doesn't experience it as ambiguous because of a second bias riding on top. Threats get priority, and "it's my fault" is the one explanation that gives you something to do. You can't fix their deadline, but if you caused it, you can apologize, adjust, repair. So the interpreter picks the guilty version, not because it's likely, because it's actionable. Put the three together: a world-class detector, tuned by survival, wired to a narrator that blames you by default. The detection is real. The verdict is not. Here's the image I want you to keep. Imagine a seismograph, one of those old machines with a needle drawing a quiet line on paper. This one is exquisite. It catches tremors no other machine on Earth can feel. A truck 3 streets away, a door closed too firmly in the next building. It misses nothing. But this seismograph has one defect. It doesn't locate the epicenter. So every time the needle jumps, every tremor, anywhere, from anyone, the machine prints the same address at the bottom of the page. Epicenter. You. The friend's bad day, the coworker's deadline. The tremor was real. The needle never lies. But the address is printed before the earthquake is even located. That's your radar. Perfect detection. One hardwired, wrong conclusion. And you've spent your whole life trusting the address because the needle was always right. So why does this machine exist at all? Because for most of human history, reading the group's mood was not a personality quirk. It was life support. Losing the goodwill of your tribe meant losing food, protection, belonging. And goodwill never disappears all at once. It cools, in small signals, long before words. So the people who caught the cooling early, who noticed the half-degree drop and repaired the bond in time, those people kept their place at the fire. You are descended from the ones who noticed. But let's be honest about what the radar costs you now. It never turns off. Every interaction gets scanned. Every scan can trigger the question, and the question eats your day from the inside. What did I do? You reread messages like evidence. You apologize for things that never happened. You draft the repair conversation before you've confirmed there's anything to repair. A single dry, "okay," can quietly tax you for 6 hours. 6 hours of energy the other person will never know you spent on them. And sometimes, this is the cruelest part. The radar creates the very thing it fears. You go quiet and careful around a person who was just tired. They feel your sudden distance, and now something really is wrong. The alarm caused the fire. And one honest line, because you deserve the whole truth. This radar is a genuine gift. You really do read people better than most. But there's a threshold. If the alarm says everyone is upset with you, every day, if there's never a day the address isn't yours, then the machine isn't reading the world anymore. It's reading your fear. That's not a character flaw either. It's just a sign the interpreter has taken over the whole instrument. And it's exactly what the next 3 tools are for. So how do you live with a world-class radar without letting it run your life? You don't switch it off. You can't, and you shouldn't. You retrain the interpreter. 3 tools. 1. Split the signal from the story. The moment the needle jumps, take 10 seconds and separate 2 things. What did I actually observe? She answered in 1 word. That's the signal. It's real. Keep it. And what did I add? She's angry at me. That's the story. Say both parts to yourself in those words. Signal, 1-word reply. Story, it's about me. You're not dismissing your perception. You're just refusing to let the needle and the address pretend to be the same thing. 2. The rule of 3 boring explanations. Before you're allowed to accept "it's my fault," make yourself name 3 boring alternatives. Tired, hungry, busy, sick kid, bad meeting. Not because you're definitely wrong, but because boring explanations are, statistically, almost always the true ones. Nobody's inner life revolves around you the way your interpreter claims. That's not an insult. That's the good news. 3. Ask early, ask small. The radar spirals because it never gets an answer, so give it one. Instead of running the question all day, ask it. Small and light, within hours, not weeks. Hey, you seemed a bit off today. We good? 9 times out of 10, you'll get the boring explanation straight from the source, and the spiral dies in 1 sentence. And the 10th time, when something was wrong, you catch it while it's still small. Every real answer is a recalibration. It's the only way the machine ever learns that the epicenter, usually, isn't you. So here's the truth nobody ever handed you. That radar of yours is the same instrument that makes you the person people feel seen by. You notice when someone goes quiet in a group and gently pull them back in. You feel a friend struggling under their "I'm fine." You never make anyone ask twice for kindness. The whole world says it wants people who pay attention. You're what that actually looks like. You don't need to tear the machine out. You just need to demote it from judge back to instrument. Let it detect. Don't let it convict. The needle was never the problem. Only the address was. And the next time that dry little "okay" lands on your screen, read the signal. Name a boring explanation. Ask your small question. Then put the page down. You were built to notice the world. You were never meant to carry it.